All right. Welcome in Toilets to Titles, episode number 215. This is the fourth annual Super Bowl sports gambling extravaganza where we are coming in hot to help you place all of those Super Bowl bets. And we are locked and loaded. We got a team with us to prepare you to win yourself some money. But before I introduce this team, let me introduce my guy, my right-hand man, Mr. Justin Stevens, at JustinFF_ on the Twitter. Justin, what's cooking?
Hey, so I've had a busy week this week. My son has informed us that possibly this summer, well, definitely this summer, he's going to be moving out, our youngest. So kind of been cleaning up, trying to make some plans and some big plans for the room upstairs. So obviously he knows he can always be back.
Uncle Steve's moving in.
yeah. So I've got these playing cards that like are just falling out of cracks in the house just everywhere. So I'm a little overwhelmed right now with my workstation right now. My laptop is sitting here in the middle of you don't even want to see it. So so Coach, you and Emmett might get a nice little surprise packet with some cards here coming pretty soon.
Heck yeah. To be honest, when you first mentioned that your son informed you, I thought you were going to roll with you were becoming a grandfather.
Not yet. But that's usually the next step, right?
That was the vibe. I don't know if anybody else got that vibe, but I was ready for the news. But all right, I'm going to introduce the crew playing with house money, our sports gambling show over at the Toilets Titles Podcast Network. And these guys have been bringing it all season, like all week, talking multiple sports, not just football. They got soccer, getting into basketball, getting into baseball. Like they're all over the map. All right. And I'm going to talk to my guy, Iceman at Iceman_1013 on the Twitter. Chris, what's cooking?
How's it going, guys? Pleasure to be here, as always. I think this is my third. You said it's the fourth one you guys have done. I think this is the third for me. Definitely at least the second. But yeah, always a pleasure to be here. And talking Super Bowl bets is, especially when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs. always happy to talk about these guys in a Super Bowl.
Man, I'm glad you have a better memory than I do, because I know we like do these things, but I don't even remember like what episode I was on like 4 weeks ago. So I'm very impressed that you remember you've been on 3.
So if you don't get invited next year, don't get offended. It's just
yeah. I try. I mean, you know what? I'm more focused on the next one. I'm always kind of thinking about the next one, so I forget the last one. I don't have the brain capacity to keep track of that. But my guy, first time on the Super Bowl sports gambling extravaganza, it's Pru at Pru Baby 10 on the Twitter. Pru, what's cooking?
Man, what's up, man? Happy to be here. New kid on the block. Just hopefully I can make some people some money, but Super Bowl's always fun, man. There's the fun game props and stuff you can bet on that you probably shouldn't bet on, but you just can't help yourself. That's what we're here for. So we welcome all degenerates, and if you guys don't invite Ice next year, don't worry about it. I'll happily just do 2 segments. It's not a big deal. I don't blame you. I wouldn't blame you too much. And he's like, oh yeah, especially when we're talking about the Chiefs. We're always talking about the damn Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So let's just
that's true.
Throw that in there.
That's true. I'm going to tell you this before we kind of get going. I'm going to bet on the coin toss, and I ain't going to decide what I'm going to bet. I like starting out hot, and this has worked for me the last 2 seasons. So knock on wood. I've started out with like $100 bet on the coin toss and won it the last 2 years. And then I do small bets like $20, $25. So usually, and I've ended up like not like 500, like 250, 300 after the Super Bowl, but starting with that $100 before the whistle even blows is a nice way to start.
That's my type of carrying on, Coach. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
$100 on a -110 to start the game. Yeah, you cooking. I like that.
Then you're playing with house money.
Hey, that's all we play with. That's all we play with.
That's it. Hey, so why don't you guys tell everybody where they can find your content? Like, I know you guys got a Discord chat, so you're on the T2T Gilded chat and you guys talking there, but you also got your private Discord group. So let everybody know where they can find everything you're rolling with and what they have to look forward to from you this offseason.
Have at it, boss man.
Yeah, so we've both got our individual Twitters, but Playing with House Money has its own Twitter at PW_House Money. We've also got, like Coach said, the Discord. You can jump in there, and we're having, we've got Liga MX. It's the soccer European stuff. Pru does his basketball live bets, the live bet king, killing it over there. So yeah, everything is, you'll find it on Twitter, and like I say, there's links on our Twitters to the Discord, and jump in. And hey, for Super Bowl, we might give away some free months. First month for free, so people can jump in, see what we're all about, and then choose whether they want to stay with us beyond that. And hey, with some of the bets that we've been hitting in the last couple of weeks, you'd be silly not to, right?
Yeah, I see it, man. I see the guys, at least in the Gilded chat, that sing your praise, and then they keep coming back for more. Like, I see hands out. Hey, please, sir, please, sir. I don't blame them, because you guys are winning them money. So I completely respect that, man. And what do you refer to yourself as for soccer? I can't pronounce it correctly.
It's the SGC, the Soccer Gambling Cognoscenti.
Okay.
So just means the connoisseurs of soccer gambling. Just because,
We're the mafia. You don't have to sugarcoat it. We're the mafia.
Hell yeah. All right, Justin.
That was the middle name that your parents gave you, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
on my birth certificate and everything. Yeah.
It's
gotcha.
Justin. So I'm going to ask these two gentlemen what their thoughts are on the Super Bowl before we get into sports gambling. But I want to give you an opportunity to let me know what your thoughts are on the Super Bowl in general, because I know this is the gambling show, but it's also the last episode we're going to do before the Super Bowl. So let me hear it.
Just in general, I think the Niners win this game, but I do want to say that I'm not a traditional gambler, because I bet on Rival, which is a little bit different setup. We'll talk about that more later, but I still have paid attention to these guys' shows. The stuff that they talk about, you can still translate to just about any bet, even if you're just betting $20 against your buddy, that you work with. And so they have actually won me some money this year. So I appreciate you guys. You're absolutely killing it. So wouldn't be inviting you on if you were losing me money. But if you're like me and these guys have won you some money and you want to help show the love and the appreciation, you can do like our man Pete here and help fund our trip to Canton for the guys with the network, along with some of our Patreons. I've been in deep conversations with our man Jerry, who's in the chat right now, about possibly staying with us. We've got some big plans for that. That's that little $sign right next to the comments section. But I want to get that out of the way while you guys are down there doing your likes and subscribes and all that, and following the show. But yeah, so I think that this is what, obviously it's Pat Mahomes. It's hard to bet against Pat Mahomes. It's hard to bet against Kansas City. But at the same time, I think this is and this isn't a put down by any means, because they've had some great teams, but I think this is the worst Kansas City team that we've seen make it to the Super Bowl in this stint so far. They're still a great team, but the other teams are just that much better. And I think this is probably the toughest opponent they've seen yet in the Super Bowl. And the 49ers are hungry, man. They've got a lot of big opportunities to make some history this week as well. So, and personally, I was a big Ed McCaffrey fan back in the day, and I'm a big Kyle Shanahan fan. So I'd kind of like to see that connection right there. So me personally, I'll be rooting against your Chiefs there, Iceman. Sorry.
Man, I'm looking forward to this matchup. I think I'm going to put my money on the Chiefs, even though I predicted the 49ers to win all year. It's just hard for me to bet against the Chiefs. Yeah. Because so in my eyes, the best player in the game is playing for the Chiefs. Second best player is awfully close, but doesn't touch the football as much as the first best player, Mahomes. So McCaffrey's the second best player. And then from there, but I think the best team is the 49ers. But Mahomes, every time I doubt him in the Chiefs, they come through. And the 49ers, they have the best roster in the NFL, hands down. I don't think it's close, and they haven't played like it. So something's up. And if they don't get it together, they're going to lose this matchup, because there's no reason these games should have been as close as they are, because they are absolutely loaded, top to bottom. But Ice, what are your thoughts? Actually, I'm going to let you go last, because I know you have a dog in this fight. So Pru, why don't you let me know what your thoughts are on this matchup?
It's funny that you say that, because I'm putting my money on the Chiefs just so I don't jinx the Niners.
And heads or tails? What are we going with?
Tails never fails.
Good. I'm in. I'm in. I'm in. $100
for sure.
Tails. Yeah.
I don't want to say I want the Niners to win because I do have a very good friend of mine that's a diehard Niners fan, and I know he's going to be unbearable. So I think I would rather deal with Ice, but
of the two,
it is one of those things where Pat Mahomes, but then also Brock Purdy against top 5 defenses is a pretty big swing. And those DBs for Kansas City have been playing really well on the outsides. So it's going to rely on Brock Purdy's shoulders. I think they're going to let Christian McCaffrey do what he does to an extent, but I think it's going to be one of those times they're going to have to air it out. And I just don't know if I can put my money on Brock Purdy doing it, even though I will go through some props here. And it will be relying on Brock Purdy still, but that's only because I'm a degenerate and I can't go against the way that I predict this game to really play out if both teams come to play. So
my question is with the Chiefs, their defense has been excellent. But how many formidable wide receiver cores have they played? And I don't know if really, I don't know if the Niners are, because Debo's a little banged up, but I do love Brandon Ayuk. I know we had this discussion earlier in the season. You know, you're a Debo guy, I'm an Ayuk guy, but the thing is they're both good enough that we could have that discussion. So there's good ball players. I mean, you know, the Ravens, you know, Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham, Rashad Bateman, you know, who did they play before that? Did they play the Bills? You know, you got Diggs, you got Gabe Davis, you got Dalton Kincaid. Like, Diggs has fell off the map after, you know, you played the Broncos twice during the season, and all they got is Cortland Sutton and the ghost of Jerry Jeudy. The Raiders got one weapon, Devontae Adams. They play the Chargers, and the Chargers are just a disaster. So, you know, I don't know. We're going to find out. You know, we're going to find out how they handle. Like, is this top 5 defense going to be able to stay a top 5 defense against a well-rounded, dynamic offense? Because they look good, but Ice, you tell me, what's this Super Bowl going to look like?
I mean, I think Justin's right to an extent. This is certainly the worst wide receiver room we've seen the Chiefs have, and we've said that all season. But I do think when you're talking about the Chiefs defense, it is potentially a more rounded, more solid Chiefs team than you've actually seen in a Super Bowl before. Potentially. You know, like, so I get both sides of it, but I'll come back to exactly what I've said on Playing with House Money all through the playoffs. I said it about Josh Allen when he came up against this Chiefs team. I said it about Lamar Jackson. And to Pru's point, I'm going to say it again about Brock Purdy. It all comes that this is the biggest game of his career. Can he perform? Can he put the ball in Ayuk's hands, in Debo's hands against this defense? If he can, then I think the 49ers win this game. But it's a big ask for Brock Purdy to go out and do it on the biggest stage of all. So there is that's the way the Chiefs will win this game, because Mahomes is going to turn up and do what Mahomes is going to do. He's going to throw the ball to Travis Kelce 10 times. He's going to score a touchdown. Like, that's stuff that's going to happen, right? But I think the 49ers, like, I'm going to say the 49ers edge it, because I know I want the Chiefs to win. I'm not expecting the Chiefs to win. But I think it will be a close game, and therefore it comes down to, you know, which way round is it? Do you want Purdy with the ball in his hands with a minute to go, needing a touchdown? Or do you want Mahomes with the ball in his hands, needing a field goal to win it for you? Like, I know which one I'd rather. You can't back against Patrick Mahomes with 60 seconds on the clock, needing to get into field goal range to win you the game. If we keep it that close, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I'd be interested to look at. I'm not going to, because I don't have the patience to do that. And I'm spending a lot of my time working on NFL draft content right now. So shout out to toiletstitles.com. Check out our big board. Check out our player profiles. I just wrote up Quinyon Mitchell, and I reached out to his agent trying to get him on the show. So we'll see if that happens. But I'd be interested to see what the Chiefs' average time of possession is, how many possessions, when Patrick Mahomes is rolling. Because if I'm the 49ers, also, like I mentioned the passing attack, but how much of the rushing attack, how many formidable, they played against James Cook, they played against Javonte Williams, Josh Jacobs here and there this season, Zamir White, how many dominant rushing attacks have the Chiefs played against? And if I'm the 49ers, here's what I want to do. I want to run the ball, keep the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands. But if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I want to get the lead, but I don't want to take my foot off the gas, because if you do that, the Chiefs are going to do to you what the Patriots did to your Falcons, a few years ago. So he's got some skeletons in his closet. So I'm sure he's a little nervous too. But guess what? We all win. We all win because we get to watch this matchup. All right. But how are we going to win some money? I want to start discussing for the next 15 minutes before we bring in our guy from Rival Fantasy, Mr. Neal Maligno. You guys talk us through some of your favorite bets. So I'm going to start with you, Pru. You got any bets for the fellow listeners of Toilets Titles?
Of course. I know we said, Purdy or Mahomes at the end of the game. And, I think the one goal is to not have it be a 3-point game. And I think that's going to rely on Isaiah Pacheco for the Kansas City Chiefs. I've said this, the last 6 weeks, Ice. And they keep putting his line under 70. They keep putting his line under 70. I don't get it. So, I'm going to take the free money. Isaiah Pacheco, alternate rushing guard, 70 plus is plus 110. Plus money for 70 rushing yards on Isaiah Pacheco in a game that both teams are going to run the ball as heavy as possible. I think that's what a lot of people are kind of not focused on.
Where the Niners' biggest weakness, for most games, have been in that running attack.
Yeah, especially lately.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's going to definitely be his. It's going to be his show. I think they're going to keep feeding him the rock. I know Jared McKinnon's back and Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been playing well. I don't care.
McKinnon's going to help in the pass attack.
Yeah.
So if you were talking, over combined rushing and receiving, maybe I'd be concerned about any number like that. But I don't think McKinnon is going to go into his rushing total at all. Ice, you got a prop for us?
Yeah, well, to your point, I think one of the ones I was looking at, one I really like is Mahomes and Purdy rushing yards combined for 50 rushing yards. That's plus 150. And I think we saw Brock Purdy in the NFC Championship game, rush the ball a little bit more. And I think this defense is going to put him under a little bit more pressure. And Mahomes in Super Bowls, I'm pretty sure he's rushed for like 35 yards in each Super Bowl he's played in. So
lately he's been taken off.
Yeah. So I do think with the rushing attack, I love the Pacheco line. But yeah, I think Mahomes probably goes for 35, 40 yards on his own. So to take Purdy to get you the extra 10 for plus 150, I really like that one.
For plus 150, man, I like that too. Combined 50 yards. I'll take that. Pru, what do you got for us?
I got a random one, but I really like the value of it. They got Dre Greenlaw over 8.5 tackles plus assists at plus 150 at plus 105. So we're getting plus money for Dre Greenlaw to fly around the field. I wouldn't doubt that guy's 6'7" in the first half. He literally everywhere is a ball magnet. And like I said, everybody's going to want to run the ball. He's always in the heat in the scheme of things. So I really think that's a pretty good line to start at with 8.5. He's been double digits for me almost all season. So loving the plus money on that.
I think you had your bet with that. I like that because you're betting on Pacheco to go over 70 yards. So you're betting on the touches. He's going to get the carries. And then on the other end of it, you're betting on the man who's likely going to make at least half of those tackles on those carries. So I think that's clever. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Ice.
So I said I love always going to take the Travis Kelce reception line, right? He's at 6.5 receptions. Like you kind of have to take that one. But the one that I saw, one of these on FanDuel, a different bet that they don't normally give you in season, just for this game. It's the first tight end to get to 20 receiving yards. And I just think that the value here is on George Kittle at plus 300 to be the first receiver to get 20 yards. First tight end to get 20 yards. Sorry, not receiver, it's tight end. So it's literally between him, Kelce, and Noah Gray. And I think that just huge value because if the 49ers get the ball first, and he throws the ball to Kittle twice on the opening drive, then he could have his 20 yards before the Chiefs have even touched the ball. So I just think it's a value prop for me, that one.
Man,
Nice.
Justin, you think there's any prop bets for Usher, who is doing the halftime show, to cover a Taylor Swift song?
Ooh, I extra twist there. It'll be interesting to see what the props are for all of the performers, because we've got Reba before the game too. So.
Reba, I like that you know her on a one name basis.
And
is that what she goes by? Just Reba?
Yeah.
Yep. So
it's
nickname fancy.
It's funny you said that, Coach, because that was my first, when you're talking about winning a bet before the game has even started.
Right.
The national anthem, I think the line is at 89.5 seconds or 90.5 seconds for how long it's going to last. You take the under. She performed game 3 of a World Series a few years back, and it was 83 seconds.
Reba did?
Yeah, Reba did. Yeah, so we're taking the under.
83. Man, that is some inside scoop. Pru, how are you gonna top that prop right there?
Yeah, that one's gonna be pretty tough to top, because I did not have research besides my own heartbreaks on this next one. It's a dart, but I like I love the coaches that I get in this game, because they get fancy. Both of these coaches get fancy, especially Big Reed. And they have a lotto prop if any offensive lineman can score a touchdown this game. And I know we have not seen we haven't seen the leak out jump pass from Andy Reid all year.
Now, how does that work if an offensive lineman lines up as an eligible receiver and catches it as a tight end? They still count as a lineman. So it's whatever they are on the roster.
Exactly, it's whatever they're on the depth chart, and it's plus 3,500.
Wow. I think it's also their numbers. Like, I think your numbers are what designate you.
In the NFL now, the numbers aren't assigned to the position anymore. That's when you've seen a lot of the.
Yeah, but then why does this person with a certain number have to?
It's just what they're on the depth chart. If their depth chart, if they come in with number 78 and they're on the depth chart as your tackle, and he's going to be the second tackle, you have to make him eligible as a
I bet Andy Reid was pissed when Dan Campbell was doing all that passing. He's like, "Stop! I'm trying to hide this maneuver, and you're out here blowing up my spot."
Yeah.
Right?
I
could see Andy Reid getting real pissed, probably on the airplane ride home, throwing stuff up in the front of the airplane. All right, Ice, what do you got for us?
I mention this one every year, so I'm going to go again. A safety during the game, plus 1260. If you want to get really fancy, and you want to put $1 on the first offensive play of the game to be a safety, that's plus 50,000. So your $1 will get you $500.
I like how you said fancy. That's your way of saying degenerative.
Yes.
$1 would get you $500.
He throws the $1 in there too. Hey, make sure you just throw $1 on this.
Yeah. How much money did you place on that bet, Ice?
I will put a $1 free bet on.
I was going to say, you're asking the wrong guy. My stupid ass would do something. I'll put $10 on it or something like that. You're right, man. You're right.
But I think play, the first can't be the kickoff. Right?
No. So that's literally the first offensive play of the game to result in a safety. So first offensive play. But I can't find it, but there will be somewhere that the first score of the game will be a safety. I do like that one, and that will probably be plus 10, plus 2,500, possibly. But yeah, I think for just a safety, the safer bet, just a safety to happen in the game at plus, like I said, plus 1260. I really like that. But I bet that in every Super Bowl. So
that's fun. Hey, Rich, the octopus was plus 3,000.
What is an octopus?
I want to say it's a guy scores 4 touchdowns, I believe.
No. It's he scores the touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
Oh yeah.
That's the 8 points.
They only have Travis Kelce as an option right now, I believe.
You can get it on FanDuel. You can get anyone to score.
Oh, okay, yeah. They didn't have
this is a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I had no idea.
They have to score. They have to score the 2-point conversion straight after their touchdown. Though.
It has to be after their score.
And
Yeah,
Rich got it last year. Rich, what? Like, what? Did you accidentally play this, Rich, or did you actually like?
I want to know if Rich knew what the octopus was when he placed the bet.
I feel like he just was randomly clicking buttons, and like, how do you? I'm very man. I didn't even know this was a thing.
So he had a DJ Pru moment, and he just started betting everything.
Yeah. So I can't remember who did it though. Oh, it was Jalen Hurts. Okay.
Man, I'd like to see everybody from Toilets to Titles put $1 on the first play. And then so we could all collectively hold our breath. Like the Gilded Chat would be absolutely bananas leading up to the first offensive snap, especially if like the guy steps out of the end zone and by accident drops the ball and falls at like the 2-yard line. Like, I think it would be bananas. So
we'd have to jump
place
on
that bet.
Yeah, we'd have to
jump on like right away.
Yeah. If anybody places any bets like from this show, please let us know in the Playing with House Money thread on the Gilded app, because it'd be a lot of fun to keep track of who all's up, who all's down, and how we're doing with all these bets. So Pru, do you got any more for us? Any more props for us?
I got 2 quick ones. I got a safe one, and it's Debo over 79.5 rushing and receiving.
Okay.
That one's like that one's minus 115. And then I'm a Debo fan. I think he just shows up in the biggest games, big playmaker. And what better time for him to break the Super Bowl receiving record, 216.
Ooh, you said Debo?
Yep, yes, sir.
Ooh,
how much? Man. What's the odds on that?
2 huge touchdowns, and then just chunk play.
Is that Jerry Rice currently?
Yes, sir. It's plus 3,000, and it would be a Niner. I think it's time to pass the torch. I think he's the big play explosive guy.
I tell you what, man, there are a lot of storylines that are falling. Like if you're one of those conspiracy theorists that believe in the storylines and it's all scripted and all that crap,
we're gamblers.
First off, you're off your rocker. But secondly, most of those storylines are really falling towards the Niners winning the game. Like, I don't know. It's crazy.
We're gamblers.
They have the revenge narrative as well from a few years ago, obviously.
Right. All right, Ice. You got any leftover bets for us before we let you guys go?
Yeah. So last 2. Again, I give you a safe one and a not so safe. Your safe one again. Halftime show, Ludacris to appear minus 200 because he's going to come out when Usher does. Yeah. Ludacris is coming out. Lil Jon's probably going to be with him. It's going to be a great time. minus 200.
Are they going to go to the window to the wall or no?
I personally am hoping they do get low.
Oh, yes. Listen to this. Last year, I predicted the song that Rihanna would open with. Remember?
Yeah.
I nailed it because I said that's the energy we needed. Yep. And she gave us the energy. It was "Bitch Better Have My Money," I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gordon, what's Usher opening with this year?
I don't really. So I like Rihanna. I don't like Usher. Okay. So like, not that I dislike him. I just think Rihanna is like
Rihanna.
Yeah, she's cool. Like Rihanna is everything that everybody thinks Beyonce is. Is what I think.
I wouldn't go that far, but
I would. I would in a heartbeat. Rihanna has like a brand. Like Beyonce's got songs, but Rihanna has songs. Like you know what I mean? So this is our Debo. This is our Debo Ayuk.
This is our Debo Ayuk right here for sure.
Me and my wife have this argument all the time. She thinks like Beyonce. I get it. She just was dubbed Queen Bee. I think Rihanna is like the truth.
Yeah, I think Usher starts with yeah.
All right,
that's my answer. That's my answer to that. And then me and you, Coach, we're gonna talk about that one. I do love Rihanna, so we're not even gonna. It's not gonna be as bad.
My other one is I think it was the first time I was on. I don't know. I can't remember. I called the Sky Moore touchdown that was plus 1,000. This year I'm going Justin Watson plus 650.
I like that.
Me too.
Yeah,
he had a touchdown the first week of the playoffs, I think.
He did.
Yeah.
I think so. So it would be a great way to full circle it. First,
I just want to say, just amazing research today, Ice.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you.
did. He did.
Hats off. Just you came with like inside information. Like you're gonna know who's like partying the night before. Like we gotta call you. I'm glad you're my partner. This is gonna be great.
Hey, so what time you guys recording this week? What's in store? All right, everybody who's listening right now, what should they be looking forward to from you guys this week?
So Thursday afternoon around noon Eastern time, Playing with House Money will drop, and that will be, just again our kind of breakdown of the Super Bowl. It'll be a lot of what we've just talked about, but there'll be a couple of additional bits and pieces in there. Pru saying no, like there's definitely going to be a few more like prop bets. We'll put a parlay together for everyone, and then there'll be some stuff on the NBA. Like that's where that's what we've got to focus on. Unfortunately, one game in the football season left.
Yeah,
we've got to find something else for Pru to spend his money on.
Right, and our listeners.
Yeah. That's Thursday at midday, and then on Friday will be the SGC. Looking forward to another big weekend. European soccer, the MLS is just on the horizon, so looking forward to that. So Thursday and Friday, catch us.
Did you see that the World Cup finals are going to be at MetLife in New Jersey?
I did. Yes, we're going to have like a Playing with House Money like suite at MetLife.
Bro, I'm in. I'm 45 minutes from there.
Yep,
he's paying for it. Ice is paying for it. The house is paying for it. But
bro,
also I guess it's screw me because Thursday morning, guys, we have our recap show. It's, who pissed off Pru? Thursday morning around 9.
Me again for forgetting to mention that will be first on the agenda this week.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be first on the agenda for who pissed off Pru. It's my recap show. We go over bad beats.
And what about me talking about Rihanna over Beyonce? Am I going to be on the show?
Yeah, honestly, I'm going to leave that one out just for the people. I don't even want them to think you're, psycho or anything. I'm going to leave that. We're going to leave that one out. Ice is on who pissed off Pru almost every week for obvious reasons. But yeah, we go through parlays that were in the Discord or posts that were in the Discord and the Gilded and just kind of go through bad beats and kind of explain to the people that, at the end of the day, we're still gambling.
Right.
And shit happens. You'll miss stuff by 1 point, you'll miss stuff by 1 yard. So we go through that. I kind of get a little steam on, let a little steam off, and we do a little bit of a chill session. So if anybody has any bad beats, they can come send them my way. I'll happily discuss them with you.
I love it. Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, so somehow we got to get Rihanna and Beyonce on the bathroom boards bet. I don't know how that's going to happen, but you guys will figure that out. In the meantime, when I go to check out your guys' show later this week, I just, a fan request here. I want you guys to tell me what color Gatorade I need to bet on, but save it for the show. Save it for the show.
It's one of my first ones, Justin. Thank you.
Nice. Ice, last question. Can we yet bet on who is going to win the World Cup in 2026?
Yeah, you will
already.
Be able to.
Where are your odds? Where are you placing your money? Belgium's washed, right? Belgium's washed.
Yeah.
Argentina's washed.
Italy.
Yeah.
Oh, World Cup. Oh, Spain.
Yeah. Spain.
Well, they got Gavi. They got Pedri. Who else?
Yeah. Spain's not a bad bet, but just in big tournaments, they're just. I mean, Spain are plus 900. France and Brazil are the current favorites for it.
England is like offensive linemen or something. I've never heard these names.
So England, Harry Kane's. You think he's still around for 2026?
Yeah, he will be. But plus 700 is ridiculous.
Foden just had a hat trick, right?
Yeah.
So he's coming on. Maybe they'll finally give him some run this time around.
I do think it's easy to pick the favorite in France, but Kylian Mbappe has got a chip on his shoulder from what happened in the last one. He's going to sign with Real Madrid this summer.
He better, for the sake of his legacy. The dude's playing. Yeah. I mean, I don't know much, but I imagine that division or league he's playing up in Paris ain't got much, No. Real though, huh? Why not go to somewhere in the Premier League and play against battle it out with
Messi?
Holland.
Messi never did. So that tells you everything you need to know about.
But Messi didn't because Ronaldo was in Real.
Yeah, but you got to come and do it in the best league. You got to
hear
come and do
another
it in the
hour.
best league in the world. Yeah,
Right.
I won't. We'll go into it, and we've got 18 months before. that,
I'm
but
glad
yes,
I
we
can.
will.
I'm glad I can have somebody to, because I you know so much more than I, so I will enjoy picking your brain. Maybe I'll come on your show at some
Yeah.
point and talk. Let's do some soccer game. But we do have Neal waiting. So everybody, Ice, Pru, we appreciate you guys. All right, so everybody tune into them Thursday, and if you want to chat with them, reach out to them on Twitter, get in their Discord channel, also get into our Gilded chat. You can reach out to me, toiletsandtitles@gmail.com. We'll get you in there. So guys, we will catch you later on. Take care.
Thanks,
Later,
guys.
y'all.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, Justin, bring them in. Bring them in and introduce our guy.
So the next guest from our sponsor, Rival Fantasy, that's joinrival.com/title tribe. We got Neal Maligno, resident, kind of our, well, I can't say our resident in-house Raiders fan because we have Rich.
Right.
But when Rich isn't available, we go to this man. We go to Neal. Super Bowl this year is being played in Las Vegas, and he's a Raiders fan. So the Chiefs get to play in Arrowhead West. So for their home Super Bowl game. Sorry, Neal. I had to give that little shot there, buddy. But how's it going,
It's
man?
all good. Doing good, man. Doing good. Happy to be here.
Man.
So obviously we brought you on to talk rival bets, but before we get to the rival bets, I got to know. Obviously, you have a little bit of that in division rivalry going with the Chiefs, and then also, from what I understand, a lot of Raiders fans don't really care so much about that across the Bay rivalry with the 49ers.
Yep.
So, as a guy that probably doesn't really care too much about either team, what do you think of this game on Sunday?
Yeah. I mean, that hate is real for sure. I'm not from the Bay. I'm not from California. I'm none of that. So I'm not as diehard of a 49er hater as a lot of Raider fans are. So I just despise the Chiefs more. But that is a very strong thing. It's actually like a debate I see Raider fans even having, like, oh, you're not a real Raider fan if you don't hate the Niners or, whatever. But I mean, I don't like them, but I dislike the Chiefs definitely more. So yeah, it's not a pleasant Super Bowl for me in terms of these two teams being in Vegas having this happen, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
those are shots, Justin. You're like really pouring it on with the intro right now.
I mean, that last question was a legit question though, because like I'm really curious to see, because since the game is being played in Las Vegas, I was really curious to see what Raider fans think about as far as like who they're rooting for. Like, do you want to try to keep the Super Bowl in division so at least you're matching up against the best every year, or would you rather see your rivals not win the title? Like it's a legit question. I thought.
No,
I would say
no,
rival.
I'd rather
I would
see
say
the
rival.
49ers win.
Yeah. If it was me, if the Eagles were playing against like, I don't know, like anybody that I could compare to, like, I would not want to see the Eagles win. I just wouldn't be able to stomach it.
That's where I'm at. So I don't understand, people who are like, no, I definitely want to see the Chiefs with the Niners. I'm like, I don't get that at all.
Now, I want to mention this as well because we had some people in the chat that were laying down their winners and their points, the points that they thought the game was going to be, the overall score, I should say. If you guys nail that, if you nail the winner and the correct score in the chat, then we're going to give you a $25 Fanatics gift card, courtesy of patreon.com/title tribe. Again, that's patreon.com/title tribe. If you guys want to be a Patreon member, we're doing all kinds of fun stuff. We got free Super Bowl squares coming up for the Super Bowl that are all Patreon, 100% funded for you. So you don't have to pay a dime if you're a Patreon member. And we have 5 of those squares still to give away. For every tier you get another free entry into that. Also, if you've already put in your score and your team, I'll give you a second guess. All right. Everybody gets 2 different guesses. Just because you didn't know that there was something on the line when you threw out your guess. Maybe you were throwing out a guess with your heart. Now maybe you want to use your head. I'll give you 2 guesses. You throw out a guess, and I'm going to make sure that if you guess the correct team and score, you get a $25 Fanatics gift card. Neal, My next question is about Rival. Obviously, Rival is our sponsor. Rival has been huge for us, and we're hoping that we've been just as huge for Rival. But there's some big things coming down the pipeline for Rival. We kind of want to see if there's anything that you're allowed to tease out to our viewers, so that we don't get in trouble for accidentally spilling the beans later.
Not that we're saying you have anything to tease out either.
Yeah.
You know, like
Sounds like you
just
guys have some insider information.
maybe, I don't know.
No,
Well, we
yeah,
don't
I mean,
know.
what you're
Yeah.
probably, what you're probably alluding to is we're launching Best Ball. So Best Ball is coming. That's our new game that we're going to be offering. It'll start on. It's planned for launch on February 14th. It'll be full season Best Ball for MLB on that day, and daily and weekly for NBA Best Ball, and then of course daily and weekly for MLB once opening day hits. So that's the big announcement. That's the big game that we're starting. We're really excited about it. As we continue to push this mission of being like that one fantasy platform that has everything. We feel like we have the games, like the DFS type games like challenges and bingo. We feel that we were missing Best Ball because we did have season long, but it was kind of that middle ground. So we're trying to get everything we can in one place. So that's what we're striving towards. Is what we're doing. And it's just another goal we're trying to hit. And we feel that the differentiator is we're not going to have like these massive tournaments, like people trying to become millionaires. Like I know for me, like I'm not, as crazy as it sounds, I'm not into a lot of like the sports betting necessarily, or the big tournaments, because I always feel like I'm not going to win these things, man. Like the chances are low. Just like I don't play lotto or any of these kind of things. So I like the games. We're developing games on purpose to be more like head to head, play with your friends, play with your family. Settle debate, settle these kind of arguments. And so our Best Ball will continue in that, in that mindset.
Can I, Justin, can I piggyback off of that real quick?
Yeah.
So I wasn't prepared for this. So I just threw this out on the fly. All right. So Toilets to Titles, with the announcement of these Best Ball leagues coming out, right, for MLB, what's the lowest you could sign? Is there a low amount that you could sign up for these Best Ball leagues in a maximum amount?
I believe, I don't know 100%, but I believe it's $3 will be the lowest that you could buy in at. I believe $3 is it. I'm not sure if there'll be a $1 one, but probably $3.
Okay, so Toilets to Titles is going to give away $10, right? So let's say you want to fill league, that's $10 buy-in. If you get 3 buddies to play in a league, we'll put you in a league with. They can be leagues of 10. They could be leagues of 12. We are going to coordinate and organize this. You get 3 buddies, we'll give you $10, right? If you fill a league, and that could be 9, you could just bring 9 people, right? You could do a 10-person league, or you could bring 11. I don't really care. If you fill a league, we'll give you $25. All right, so we'll pay your $25 entry if you fill a league. We'll pay your $10 entry if you get 3 people to join. So we'll probably do some more giveaways than that. But from the hip, that is what we are going to announce and be doing now. And I know these leagues don't start filling till February 14th, right? That's 8 days from now. Get in Gilded, toiletstotitles@gmail.com. Say, Coach, here's the email addresses for me, my 3 buddies. We'll get you signed up on Rival. We'll get you our promo code. We'll get you all that. And we will keep track. And then when these do open up, we'll make sure we get you in a league, and we'll make sure your entry fee is paid.
Nice. And
awesome.
And if you start to tell us that, and we're kind of like arguing with you about it, just say Coach said, like, because we'll believe it. Like Coach just randomly throws stuff like that out all the time. We're going to believe it no matter what.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And I'm going to be getting in a few of those too. So, because the hardest part with fantasy baseball is, I think it's the most active managers that usually are in the money, because you really just have to stay on top of it. You got to be tracking the lineups up to the last minute. And with best ball, I know there's some guys in there that want to play full fantasy baseball. That's cool. But with the best ball, I'm in it. I can keep track of my scores if I'm winning, but I don't have to worry about this guy was a reliever. Now he's a starting pitcher. He's pitching more innings than was projected. Like, I don't want to worry about all that.
Yeah.
No, well, let's get into football. I definitely agree. You're good. Go ahead. What were you going to say? I'm sorry. I cut you off.
I was going to say, I actually started fantasy baseball. That's like where I first got my feet wet. And then once I found football, I was like, oh, this is way easier. Like I don't have to do
Yeah.
all this management. So I totally agree with you. My son even plays fantasy basketball too, and he's 8. His like friends in his class got him playing in it, and even that, like trying to help him. I mean, it's a little more stressful because it's him and his opinions and his, I let him do what he wants to really do. But it's still that weekly management every single day, and like, do we drop this player, pick up this player? It's like it's crazy. So yeah, it's definitely intense. So I'm definitely a big fan of the best ball as well.
And I can't imagine how much more difficult it would be if you lived out on the West Coast. You know what I mean? Like those guys out there have to get up at 9 a.m. to set their lineups on a Saturday or Sunday. It's crazy.
They deserve how much more difficult it is because they get to watch football at 10 a.m.
That's true.
That's
fair.
Incredible. Like, imagine waking up, like not having that 4-hour window where you have to do the chores just to earn your allowance to be able to sit on the couch for the rest of the day. I don't know if your households work like that, but mine does. If it's 10 a.m., like Saturday chores, Monday chores, it's a football all day,
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Same
Neal,
thing with like late games, like basketball games and stuff. 10 o'clock at night here, but on their side it's like 7 at night.
I'm asleep. I'm asleep by 9:30. Yes, Justin.
Yeah, he is. He usually, a lot of times he'll message us in the morning to ask us how the game ended. But no, so Neal, the back to rival.com, join rival.com/title tribe. So Rival has this fun game called Bingo. You and I have both won fantasy bingo. I've set 20 cards on 4 different lineups this week. That bingo is almost up to $1,900. $1,900. You pay $1 for a bingo card for a shot at winning $1,900. Like, it's insane. And you would think that just because it's a minimal player pool that you don't have much of a shot. But I had 2 cards that were only 1 off last week, and one of them was very feasible. If I would have just gotten 2 touchdown passes from Lamar in the fourth quarter when they were playing from behind and he was, throwing the ball a lot, if he would have connected on those passes, like I would have had another big win, and the pot wouldn't be up to 1,900 because it rolls over. So my strategy this week for the fantasy bingo, since I like 3 different wide receivers there, is I rotated 2 of them with the flex, along with rotating Kelsey and Kittle in the flex as well, and rotating Kelsey and Kittle back and forth. Aside from that, it seems pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. But do you have any particular bingo bets that you are laying down this week?
Like you said, just there's not a lot of choices, right? So I've been pretty much saying, I guess kind of obvious, kind of the obvious plays. I do like to make some cards with like the not so obvious stuff, but again, there's not so much to kind of, differentiate with only 2 teams playing. So it's a little harder this week. But yeah, I mean, I guess, you have different options if you want to, get crazy, like with a certain wide receiver or a running back. But for the most part, I think you got to kind of play by the book for the most part, and just, who knows, maybe it will be a kicker, one of the 2 kickers that you pick that'll, differentiate the winner or loss. So, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. Like that's this is the first time seeing it with such, small of a pool. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah. And I'm not going to give anything away about your betting style. I'll just say you sent me a screenshot one time of your bingo cards. Are you at least dialing back how many cards you're buying since it's a minimal player pool, or are you still?
Yeah. Yeah, no, with the smaller pool,
that's it. That's all I get. Yeah.
But hey, but not for nothing. When you sent me that screenshot of how many you played in, I upped my ante, and that's when I won in week 2. So, like, I mean, you got to play the cards to win the cards, right? So,
all right. And I'll tell you, man, like the NBA, there's less people playing NBA, so the pool has been lower. It feels like, but like right now, it's less than $100. But like, I actually have hit in that pretty often too. So. I just have fun with it, man. I just, I throw all different kinds of cards out there. I mean, I think the last time I won was somewhere in January, but I think I only played like 10 cards, and I hit on one of them, so I was like, pretty happy about that. Every time I hit, I try to think that I got something here, like I got some strategy down with it. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know if I do. I think I might just be getting lucky. I don't know. So it's a fun little twist of fantasy.
Yeah, that the guys were talking earlier about it. Coach was talking about it. Justin Watson scoring that touchdown in the first week of the playoffs would have actually won me a bingo card if I would have played him over Rasheed Rice. So like, it's still like, yeah, it's fun. It's all fun. But I want to know out of the wide receivers, because I want to face a challenge against you. So out of the wide receivers that are playing in this game, is there one that you think is going to stand out in this game, in the Super Bowl, that's going to have a big game that you're willing to lay down a $10 challenge bet against me on?
Yeah. I would say, I guess it sucks to say because, again, I want the Chiefs to lose, but I like to take Rice, man. I'll take Rice against either 49ers wide receiver.
Yeah, right
either
on.
too.
Yeah. So I get my option there. Yeah, so I had it down to 3. Rice was probably the guy I was leaning towards too, but we just had DJ Pru and Iceman on from Playing with House Money, and Pru was all about some Debo this week. I'm gonna do what I've done all season and win money with DJ Pru. I'm gonna take Debo. So we're gonna send that rival bet. We're gonna accept that rival bet, and we're gonna have Debo versus Rice. Yeah, Coach.
And then I challenge both of you.
All right.
With Ayuk.
There you go.
Ayuk gets more yards than Debo, and I think Ayuk gets more yards than Rice. So this is now a three-way
triangle.
Yeah, a triangle. That's probably more appropriate. That's
Listen.
a much more appropriate way to put it.
So
social challenges get me in trouble more than anything, man.
Yeah. So I lost my train of thought there with that one, Coach. You threw me off.
Sorry, a triangle.
That's what I'm here for.
It's a triangle of bets. All right. So you were talking about you want wide receivers. What are the positions?
Oh yeah, no. So I was also going to say that this is what I like about Rival is, like, when you're working with your buddies at work and you make this bet and then you won $20 on this guy, or you want a free lunch or something, and then he comes back and he's like, No. I was talking about his rushing yards too. Or no. He didn't even play in the fourth quarter. That doesn't count. If you lay down your money on Rival makes sure that the winner gets their money. Right. There is none of this ifs and buts, So, but that's what I like about it. But another big one that I noticed on there, I saw some big money bets for Travis Kelce, and I saw some big money bets for George Kittle. So in this particular game, given their matchup, is there one that's standing out to you that you would lay down a challenge bet on? Because I'll be more than happy to take the other side on that one too.
Yeah, I would probably go Kelce over Kittle. As again, it's funny because I feel like the Niners are going to win. I want the Niners to win, but I'm taking all the Chiefs players like in the challenges that I'm talking about. It's kind of odd, but I just feel
they might be chasing.
The 49ers, I guess, Yeah, they might be chasing, and plus the 49ers, I feel like have more options and more weapons, and so like it could get spread out more. Where I feel like the Chiefs are kind of isolated. So yeah, like it just is what it is. But yeah, I would take Kelce in that.
What's funny is Kansas City's defense has only allowed 17.3 points per game this season. San Francisco's only allowed 17.5 for a total of 34.8 points. But yet the over-under on this game is 47.5 because of the two offenses. So, like, I mean, you want to say that we're going to have all these big points. You want to think that we're all betting this money because it's going to be, Kittle's going to score 21 points and Kelce's going to score 23. And in all likelihood, it very well could be a very low scoring game.
Well, it's also the coaches. Like, what's Reed known for? His offense. What's Shanahan known for? His offense. So it's not just the players. It's the coaching staff. So I think that adds a little bit to it. Now, I have a question. Can we place a bet on, so if I wanted to go Mahomes and Purdy, who has more interceptions? Is that possible?
Not on Rival.
Oh, I didn't know I didn't know if we could do negative bets against each other. So
no.
All right. It's only all right. Well,
that's also something I do in bingo. Is if I think somebody is gonna do something negative, there are negative achievements in there sometimes. So like 2 fumbles or 2 interceptions. So I will. It's funny because like you're being rewarded for figuring out the negative stuff sometimes. So,
yes.
Or at least I guess if your player does bad and they do have to throw 2 interceptions, at least you don't feel like, hey, I still got it out possibly. But yeah, I go to bingo for those kind of achievements.
All right, so go with whichever quarterback you think might throw the more interceptions. You go put that in your bingo card.
Now our man
Yeah,
Rich here
sometimes I'll put that on
doesn't.
my bingo card.
Yeah, there you go. Rich also doesn't live over by the Bay, but he is a Raiders fan. He's also calling for the Niners. So I'm getting a little bit of feedback on my question from earlier. All right, so I know this has nothing to do with rival on this one, but I do want to revisit that over under at 47.5 for those of you that are placing bets, because in my mind, like just like Coach said earlier, it's about the clock management for whenever you're playing against Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. So you want to get that running game going with CMC, and then also on the inverse side, I feel like the Niners' run defense has been more of their weakness over the last several games, meaning that Pacheco might get more involved, just like DJ Pru was saying. If we're really thinking these running backs are going to get heavily involved, that means the clock keeps running. That's a short, less scores. That's probably a pretty quick game as well. I don't know if they have bet somewhere on how long the game lasts, but I'd probably go the under on that as well. I don't think we're going to see them airing it out quite as much as we anticipate. But if they're going to for Kansas City, definitely Kelsey is going to have more of the opportunity. I'm still going to take the Kittle side against you, though, because I feel like he has the better opportunity for that big one, that big breakout, that big 55-yard bomb, whatever sort of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and take that Kittle side against you as well. So I like that bet. And then definitely not going to get into the whole Mahomes versus Purdy. I think we know how that one would turn out, and we both want the Mahomes side of that one. But anything else that stands out to you for rival for this week?
I mean, those are a lot of the big ones, and then I'm just scrolling through like the challenges that the users have taken. Like
That's cool.
I
We
even
get to
take
do that.
ones like I see ones that say like Patrick Mahomes versus Brandon Ayuk, and someone has $1 on Mahomes. Like when I see stuff like that, I'll take Ayuk, like for the hell of it. You know what I mean? Like you never know. But I like doing that as well because it's always interesting also to see the headspace that people are in, and even with Mahomes versus like Purdy, sometimes it's kind of interesting. You see people put $21 on Mahomes. You're like, I don't know, man. I might take that Purdy side, like just for the the hell of it. Like everyone's going on it. So a lot of times these games, man, they test my ego, they test my pride. Same with social challenges, why I've given Justin a lot of money this year.
Yeah,
Because I just stand by my players and I get challenged and I can't turn them down.
I respect that.
You know,
I'm very similar.
I didn't actually even consider that the fact that they don't have to play the same position. So I tell you what, Kelsey versus Purdy, I'll let you choose. I'll take the other one. That's a tough one, right?
I guess
because
I guess
quarterbacks score more points, but
Yeah.
Kelsey's Kelsey.
Yeah. And like if Christian McCaffrey goes off and Purdy doesn't do as much and he's that game manager everyone thinks he is. Oh man. I guess I'll take the Purdy side.
Man, that's
All right.
What about CMC versus Kelsey?
I'd go CMC, I think.
versus Kelsey. Man, I think that's got to be CMC, right?
What's a challenge that you guys would be comfortable doing with Pacheco? Like if I took Pacheco, I feel like is CMC too lopsided? I think so, right?
What about
Or is
Rice
it kinda
versus
fair?
Pacheco?
Rice.
That's an
Yeah.
interesting one.
Yeah, that one's interesting because I think, Rice will have potentially more yards, but you're going to get more opportunity with Pacheco. Pacheco's more likely to score. Man, that's a tough one.
Neither has fully taken the reins behind Kelsey. I feel like it's been a split between Rice and Pacheco.
And rival is full PPR, right?
Yeah.
So McKinnon will get most of the receiving. At least we're projecting McKinnon to get most of the receiving down.
I'd take Pacheco over Rice.
All right. Yes. Yeah. So we'll send that one too. I'll take Rice on that one. I think that'll be a close one. That'll be fun to watch.
Right. What about Elijah McGuire versus McKinnon? Am I getting too deep? The backup.
I don't know if those players will actually be on rival because they don't usually go that deep.
McGuire's RB2.
Well,
and he'll fall into the end zone. Like I'd say his floor is 5 points. And if McKinnon gets 3 receptions for 20 yards,
Yeah, I mean, they should be on there under social challenges. The only thing that would hold McKinnon back right now if he has like an injury status.
Yeah, the designation.
Because of the data provider we're taking from won't have him in
Right.
there unless it's like cleared, like that he's healthy. But they would be in there in a social challenge setting if they're healthy.
I'm not seeing McGuire.
I see McGuire. If you type in Elijah, like just type in ELI or whatever, I think he pops up.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
All right, we'll have to check.
Yeah,
But that's all right.
I have it
you-
on my
you-
screen.
Yeah, you can send it to
All right,
coach
just-
because I don't know which
would have to-
side you take.
Who would you
Yeah, it'd have
want?
to be
Who
when
would you
McKinnon's
want?
healthy. I would
You'd
take
go-
McKinnon just because I'm a big McKinnon fan.
I could see McGuire having I could see McCaffrey taking them up and down the field, and McGuire getting those short yardage, red zone, like falling into the end zone twice.
Do you
You
mean
know,
Elijah
yeah.
Mitchell?
I'm sorry, Elijah Mitchell. Yes, I
Oh,
want to
okay.
say McGuire. So,
All
there
right,
was
yeah,
there was another running back from San Diego. Dude, it is Elijah Mitchell. Who's Elijah McGuire? Because I need to prove that I'm not an idiot. Elijah McGuire was a running back who's on the Chiefs. How weird is that?
I'll take McKinnon.
Very, very weird. He went to Vanderbilt. Man, very bizarre. I am sorry about that. Oh no, he went to Louisiana Lafayette. Whatever. We're on a tangent that we don't need to be on right now. I'm sorry.
All right. Hey, Coach, we're over an hour into it, but Neal, before we take off, man, I know your Twitter handle at Clock Dodgers, and then we have at Rival Fantasy, joinrival.com/title tribe and all that. You've already told us what's coming down the pipeline for Rival. Have you pretty much just gone all in with Rival, or is there other work that we can expect? Because I know there for a while I was enjoying the Raiders show. And
I'm definitely bringing the Raiders thing back. I don't know what happened. I mean, I guess when I started at Rival, I doubled all down, so I went all crazy. But I will I'll bring the Raiders stuff back, especially hopefully we're on a new path again, and hopefully it's a positive path. When your team starts falling apart, and you got Josh McDaniels as a head coach, and things are going haywire, it gets a little depressing to make the content. But hopefully things are a little more positive going forward.
What happens in Vegas, right?
I'll definitely bring back. Yeah,
that's what it was called. What happens in Vegas, right?
Yeah. And what's funny is that gets a lot of traction, man. Like it still gets views and followers and everything. So the Raider fans are out there. So I gotta, sometimes I'll put like a TikTok up, like, just sparingly. But I definitely need to get back into the full content of it all.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on. The only thing I regret about the Super Bowl this year is that you live so far away that we can't hang out and watch it together. But I'll have some nachos and beer in your honor.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, man, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on, man.
No problem, guys. It's 60 degrees here in Florida, so it's freezing in South Florida right now.
Oh, get out of it. Hey, and thanks for everything you do for us, man. Thanks for everything you do for us and the network, and thanks for being in the Gilded Chat and all season answering. Like we had hands-on. That's another benefit of being in the T2T Gilded Chat. Neal was in there. We had a rep from Rival answering Rival questions. And then we even had discussions about, hey, we like this, we like that. So you want to get in there, but thanks for everything you do for us, man.
No problem. Thank you. And likewise, thank you guys. You guys are doing a great job. So everybody subscribe, tap in, sign up to Patreon, do all that. Thank you guys.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
Later.
Take care, man. So Justin, Elijah McGuire and Elijah Mitchell both went to Louisiana Lafayette.
Oh man, okay.
Very weird. The Matrix is like, I think it's past my bedtime because I'm starting to lose my mind. I'm going down a rabbit hole I don't want to go down right now.
I think I might have been under the wrong tab under Rival because Elijah Mitchell should definitely be there, and I still don't see him. So I'm gonna have to hit refresh. But we'll
that's
get these
who I
bets
meant.
made out.
That's who I meant. But it was.
I'll start sending you some Rival bets here tonight or tomorrow morning over what we discussed.
And everybody who's at Toilets and Titles in the Gilded Chat that's listening to the show, whether it's live or if you are on either side of this, you're in Rival because you have our code. But Justin, if they're not on Rival yet and they want to get on Rival and they want to play some bets with us, how do they sign up?
Yeah, so it's joinrival.com/title tribe right here and also in our description. But whenever you go to click on there and you want to place a bet, you just have to deposit some cash. Now, that first money that you deposit, anything up to $200, is going to be matched by Rival just for joining. And then by using that link, you also get an additional $25 just for using that link. So your initial $200 deposit, you now have $425 to bet with. If you only want to bet 25, so you can make some bets on the Super Bowl, you're going to get that doubled to 50 plus the 25. You're gonna have $75 to bet just for dropping $25 in that deposit. So again, that's joinrival.com/title tribe. My name on there is Justin T2T. Make sure you friend me. Coach Shep's T2T. Make sure you friend us. And then if you want to send us some challenges, you want to send us some bets for baseball this upcoming season, some challenges, NBA, send them. If it's under $5, I'm probably going to accept it most likely anyway. Unless you're giving me like Elijah McGuire or something like that.
Yes, but he was not even.
Give me something interesting, and I'll probably accept it. If it's over 5, I might still accept it. I don't know.
And then just a reminder, we're gonna wrap this up, but February 14th, Rival starts to have MLB best ball, and you can get in a league for as low as a $3 buy-in. And I think $100 is the max. I'm not 100% sure, but we are giving you a $10 entry. We're giving you an entry into a $10 league if you bring 3 buddies. We are giving you a $25 entry into a league if you bring at least 9 or 11, because you can have a 10-person league or a 12-person league. So if you fill a league, we're paying your $25 entry. If you get 3 buddies, we're paying your $10 entry. And the only reason, the only way to claim that is to be in Gilded. Reach out to us, Coach. Here are my buddies. Here's our information. Give me my money. We'll give you your money. We'll set up your league, and we'll have some fun.
Yep, love it.
All right, everybody. Hey, enjoy the Super Bowl. Be safe.
Niners.
Don't drink and drive. Don't do anything stupid. Let's go out. Let's finish the season on a high note, and then let's roll right into NFL draft season, because we are absolutely cruising right now. We released an episode of On the Clock today talking about our 2-round NFL draft mock draft. So we'll talk to you about the NFL draft after this. Let's enjoy the last week of the 2023 to 2024 NFL season. We will catch you all later on. Take care.